Hi, I'm Krista. Welcome to the reading. Today, when I am recording this, it is the 999 portal, September 9th, 2025. And I am really feeling a calling to do a reading about what are you releasing? What is being released today? Because nines are about completion. And when we complete something, we have to let go. We have to release to start something new, to make room for the new. And when I was connecting in, I was feeling a lot of Jesus's energy in this reading. And that's why I chose this medal. It reminded me of like Jesus is has his hands outstretched, like he's surrendering, like he's letting go or telling us to let go and surrender. And I felt called to use a lot of orange and yellows in this reading. And I feel that is because we are being connected more to our passion. And with the blue colors, I felt called to use the blue because it's connecting back to our throat chakras and it's being heard using our voices to connect with this passion, to connect with that thing that brings us joy in our life. And I was also hearing the song Jesus Take the Wheel, and that is part of this surrendering. And recently, there was a 15-year-old who was canonized as a saint, and his name is Carlo Acutis. He is the first millennial saint. I bring him up because he was someone that followed his passion. He believed that we all have unique gifts given to us by God, that it is our duty to put those gifts out into the world, that we are all unique and have something to offer, something that glorifies God. And I also felt called to bring Carlo up because his story is about surrendering and trusting God. And I feel like that's a really strong theme in this reading. And I was listening to an interview with his mother. And if you don't know, Carlo passed when he was only 15. It was really fast. He wasn't feeling well and ended up being diagnosed with cancer. So it's a story of a mother losing a son and the heartache of losing a son. And in that interview, the interviewer asked her, he said, "Do you find yourself wishing this had not ever happened? Is it hard to struggle with the joy mixed with the sorrow of losing him so young?" And she tells the interviewer, "God prepared me. When Carlo died, I was prepared. I know it is a big sorrow, of course, but I know what God decides is always for the best. We have to trust God. We have to always say yes to God." And then she talks about how she always knew that her son was going to become a saint because a couple months after his passing, he came to her in a dream and told her, like, Mom, he said, Mama, I'm going to be beatified and then I'm going to be canonized as a saint. And she said that God has always been preparing her, like preparing her for the things that happen, and she just has to keep the faith. And I feel like God does that for all of us. Like we all have dreams and we all have inklings or signs pointing us in the direction that God wants us to go. And I feel with this 999 portal that you are ready to follow God's path, that you are finally ready to fully surrender and say yes to God. And if you've been called to this reading, I feel that is the message for you. That you have found yourself now in this place where you are surrendering to God's plans. And you may have also went through something absolutely heartbreaking like Carlo's mother. And you may have lost faith in God for a while and felt like God wasn't listening or that it wasn't going to work out. But now you may be realizing that God was always there with you. And now I'm feeling called to get into the cards. Breaking trail, a breakthrough is at hand. I feel like that is that completion that you're going through, that you are breaking trail with something new. Something new is happening in your life. And because you're forging your own path, it's going to be different. Like you are literally changing your life. And what's really interesting with this card coming out too is connecting it back to Carlo Acuti. He has a famous quote where he says, "All people are born as originals, but many die as photocopies." And I feel like that is represented in this Breaking Trail card where you realize your originality, you realize your uniqueness, your God given talents and gifts, and you're not going to go down the same trail as everybody else because you're forging your own path. Gates of Triumph. Success expands in your life. Well, that's actually kind of a crazy card because it's a portal opening up to a path, and that is exactly what's going on right now. This September portal is opening you up to something new, something that will bring you success and triumph in your life. Like, with the image of this card, I'm hearing greener pastures, and you're coming out of this darker time period. But with this Breaking Trail card, I'm also reminded that this wasn't just handed to you. Like, these doors didn't just appear. Like, you had to clear this path to get to those doors. You had to make your way through this dark forest to find this opening, to find this clearing. You worked for it. It wasn't just handed to you. Like, you went through this transformation to get to this gate. Now I'm hearing the Great Gates of Kiev. I'm gonna look that up. It says the Great Gate of Kiev is a fortified entrance to the city. It says fortified is provided with defensive works as a protection against attack. Also, it's 9-9 as I'm reading that. I don't know if you could see that. And I feel like Spirit is telling me to bring up that just random Gates of Kiev thing because they're saying that you are protected going through this gate. Wandering path, enjoy the journey. And there's that green pastures again. And this card is definitely about enjoying the path, enjoying your, like, not to focus on the outcome, but to focus on the journey that you're going on. And I feel like this card falling right under the image of Jesus with his hands outstretched and surrender is a reminder to trust God on the journey, to stay present in the moment. And because that wandering path, that like twists and turns, like we don't know what is around the corner on that path, but we're not meant to worry about it. We're just supposed to enjoy the ride. Like I'm thinking of there's a there's a road in the Smoky Mountains or somewhere around there. It's called the Tail of the Dragon. I think it's like the Cherahola Skyway, and it's this famous curvy road through the mountains that a lot of motorcycles use. Like it's super scenic, and I'm just getting that image of it's not about getting to the end of that road, like the end of the Tail of the Dragon. It's about enjoying the ride, to take in the scenery around you, to take everything in that present moment, and to have faith in God that whatever whatever is coming around that sharp curve where you can't see ahead, that you're going to be safe. And I also feel foxes may be a sign for you, that spirit may be sending you foxes along this journey to tell you that you're on the right path. So, what I feel like you're releasing is you're releasing this old path. You're releasing that old life. All these cards are about this new thing that you are forging ahead on. And I feel like you're doing it with conviction and faith. Abundance. And Archangel Michael. There's that protection I was talking about. The, what was it, fortification? Archangel Michael. And that's funny because I have Archangel Michael here as protection over this reading. It says, when you are blessed with this angel card, you are guided to invoke Archangel Michael to help protect and strengthen you. He will increase your ability to deal with problems, so ask him to cut with his sword any emotional cords which bind you to people, stuck situations, or past memories. Then ask him to fill you with strength and love. So Archangel Michael is here to help you release anything that is holding you back from this new path ahead. It says he will shield you from the destructive thoughts, emotions, and actions of others. Archangel Michael works on the blue ray, which again I felt called to use blue today. So maybe that is also why it's the blue of Archangel Michael. Like I had this blue candle here for a reason, and this blue stone. That's pretty powerful actually. So my Archangel Michael is making his presence known for you today. Archangel Michael works on the blue ray, giving strength and courage. Call for his help and visualize yourself wearing a deep blue cloak, securely fastened. This will place you under his protection. He is the master of all angels, a great warrior spirit. Within his light, you will feel more secure, have more confidence, energy, and power. Affirmation: I am strong and protected by Archangel Michael. And you can also say the prayer to Archangel Michael. The prayer to Archangel Michael goes, Saint Michael the Archangel, defend us in battle. Be our defense against the wickedness and snares of the devil. May God rebuke him, we humbly pray. And do thou, O Prince of the heavenly hosts, by the power of God, thrust into hell Satan and all the evil spirits who prowl about the world, seeking the ruin of souls. And I wasn't going to mention this, but I'm really feeling cold about like talking about Archangel Michael protecting us from darker energies or evil spirits or things that want to stop us from living out our unique God-given gifts. And one of the major things that Carlo Acutis did was he created this website of Eucharistic miracles. And his mother said that when he was creating this website, his computer caught fire 5 times. And she said like it was a new computer. Like there was no reason for this computer to catch on fire. But she said it was as if the devil was trying to stop Carlo from creating this website. And she said that it was difficult for him to create this website because he had so many like spiritual attacks on him, trying to prevent him from putting God's work out there. And I feel like that can happen to us sometimes where when we're getting close to something, when we're getting close to living our purpose, the thing that we've trusted God with, that there are like these outside forces that can sabotage us. Or sometimes we just sabotage ourselves from trauma responses of things that happen to us in our lifetimes, like our shadows. And Archangel Michael is saying, like, you are being protected from all of that. Just like Carlo was protected. He got his message out there and became a saint. And this last card, abundance. It is time for your life to flow with prosperity, love, and success. And that is reflecting in this gates of triumph. Like you are now on the path of your abundance. You draw from the limitless universal pool according to your belief and how much you deserve. Angel wisdom is reminding you now to believe in yourself and trust that you deserve more. Then you will attract abundance and true riches of life. To feel surrounded by love, open your heart to others. Choose to do what fulfills you most, and the angels will bring joy, satisfaction, and success. Enhance your prosperity by receiving graciously, giving out willingly, and saying thank you for everything. Enjoy all you have, and more will come to you. Affirmation: I deserve love, prosperity, and success. And one thing that helps me to connect with that gratitude is to have a gratitude journal. I have a place where I write all the things I am grateful for, and that practice cultivates gratitude. And when you cultivate gratitude, it's almost like more things come to you to be grateful about. You start to notice all the things that God provides for you on a daily basis. I bring that up because that may be something that you would like to try yourself, or you could just use this affirmation that they have provided, the I deserve love, prosperity, and success, and maybe write that down every day or say it to yourself in the mirror. But this feels like a perfect place to end the reading. Thank you for being here with me today. I'm so glad that you spent this time with me. Until I meet with you in the next reading, I'm wishing you a wonderful and blessed day. Bye.